company has proven that we can count on her, WCI. So we have a slogan in this company which goes thus: when I said WCI, you answer together we rise. But before then, what is WCI? The meaning of WCI is World Cryptocurrency International. In other words, World Cryptocurrency Investment. You see, so they are holding tight as far as investments is concerned, and they are going internationally for people to know, so that we can invest where you can be able to have your money back profits and get out of poverty, and then you can have your financial freedom. So when I said WCI, everybody of money in general, and he's going to talk to us about cryptocurrency world, and then you will know about who Bitcoin is and what we are doing. So I want to invite Mr. Kwekam Fidelis to take the rostrum and do the first presentation. Open your ears, may your phones be on silent so that you not be distracted. Thank you very much. Clap for me now.
WCI. WCI. Okay, I want to thank our first presenter for this opportunity, and before I start, I would equally like to thank the house and the institution that has made this all possible. I really appreciate. So I'll be taking us to the first part, which is part 1, Bitcoin. Part 1, Bitcoin. Now, I would like to start at this note. Are you getting me? The first one, are you getting me? Yes. Okay. I'll wait like this one. Now, we are going to talk about the part 1, which is Bitcoin. The part 1 is Bitcoin. On this note, there is no business on earth that hangs on the earth. Every business is based on something. What am I trying to say? Money is always generated on something. It could be your real estate, it could be your food, but whatsoever it is, one thing makes sure and certain: money is generated on something. And so we're talking about Bitcoin. We're talking about Bitcoin. So we're talking about Bitcoin. Now, the first thing I want us to understand about Bitcoin or about life is that why most people remain poor. Why most people remain poor. The reason why most people remain poor is as a result, it can come for 2 years. Another person's opportunity can come for 2 days. Another person's opportunity can come for 2 hours. Just like someone's opportunity is happening now for the next 2 hours. So the reason why most people are poor is because they keep on passing over opportunities. When you get it, you say, I will think about it. You think about it and the year goes by. When you get it, you say, I will ask a friend. And you ask a friend, the friend does not like it, the year goes by. And so on and so forth. And that's why you understand that Steve Jobs, who is celebrated about Apple and everything, he is not the big brain. Steve Jobs just came and met somebody who had already worked on something. By then, it was not called Apple. But what happened? He saw an opportunity in it. He exploited the opportunity. And today, we hail Steve Jobs and not even to another stage. So change is very constant. Change is very constant. And even in the world of communication, you know, most of the times when changes happen, we don't do money as a medium for exchange, and you don't have money. What are you left with? You are left with exchanging what you have with what another person has. That is what brought the world to barter. The world on its own by then did not want to do barter, but they needed to do exchanges. And since they needed to do exchanges and they had nothing by then as money, then they had to use barter. Each and every one of us here know what's barter. I believe each and every one of us here knows some of the challenges, but the major challenge, which was the double coincidence of want. You need something, but the person you want to exchange with does not need what you have. So people had to evolve, people had to change, and they said, okay, if I have cocoyams and I need apple, but you don't need cocoyams, how do we do it? Then they had to look in the society and see one or two of those things which everybody needed or everybody had in the society, and those things were grain or cattle. Grain or cattle. That's why the Bible will tell you Abraham was rich in cattle. You will not hear the Bible tell you Abraham was rich in dollars or rich in gold. No, because by then your riches were measured as a level of the grain of cattle which you had. Because it cannot chop off the leg of a cow and the cow remains alive. So what happens? By the time you divide that particular cattle, you have started dividing your money. And as your cattle dies, your money dies. With grain, you could divide it, but it's not portable, or it was not easily portable. Imagine you want to go and buy land somewhere around Bamenda, your Emboya. It means you have to carry about 1 trailer of maize to go and buy the land. So the world had to think again. Now they said there are some instruments which we can't find anyhow. And one thing, or some of the characteristics of money, is that money is supposed to be scarce. Money is supposed to be generally accepted. What cattle and grain were doing here, they were solving the issue of money being generally accepted. So they had to think, how can we evolve? Then they went to precious metals. Now, precious metals were both generally accepted and they were scarce. Now the economy was moving. The economy was moving. Till when the precious metal of a particular sector was not the precious metal of an whole becomes nice and pleasant as it is, it has to go through fire. So you need some 1 or 2 things to transform your gold to that which can be used as money. Everybody did not have those facilities. That is where you have Smith. That's the era. Now the goldsmith came in and they started making the gold easier. They will divide your gold, but it still gave a problem. If you have to buy a huge quantity of goods, it means you need a certain amount of quantity of gold. And what happens? As you are moving with that gold, people start spotting you. Hey, this man has gold, this man has gold. And people were harassed every day. So goldsmith, and now quality of gold, in essence, it gives rise to inflation. And economists will tell you by definition that inflation is the consistent increase of prices. Why are prices increasing? It's simply because the money is losing its value. If, for example, you take the United States dollar and comes not made up to 200 years, I mean in terms of fiat currency, it has not made up to 200 years. And in less than 100 years, we have 55 cases of hyperinflation. We don't have up to 200. I don't know, the total countries in the world are up to 200. Sorry? Okay, so let's say for example we have 200 countries in the world on earth. It means about 25, sorry? Okay. So if we assume we have 200 countries, it means 55 cases of hyperinflation means that 25% of the world has faced hyperinflation. That is a reasonable amount. Then it's actually a situation. Let's look at some practical cases. In Zimbabwe, we could use 100 billion Zimbabwe dollars to buy 3x. Now, somebody will ask himself, but how come you have 100 billion Zimbabwe dollars in circulation? At every point in time, economists will tell you that the money in circulation or the money that is found around everywhere is supposed to be equal to what the people have to offer. But when government or when institutions are producing money, they produce money exceeding what is in the system. Now, when Gaddafi was arrested, it was said that they made 100 trillions in his house and this currency of this currency. Now, did you ever ask yourself, how did that money get there? Is it that they went to the shops and collected excess tax and then sent some to Gaddafi? No. What happened is that by the time the system needs 1 billion, they produce 3 billion. He has his 1 billion, this other person has his own, and so on and so forth. And when there is a situation, he just goes to that excess money, about 200 million, remove and give. And you find out that at every point in time, money keeps on entering in the system. Money keeps on entering in the system. And when there is excess money in the system, it gives rise to inflation. In 2014, the Russian ruble fell by 40% in a day. A currency falling by 40% in a day. That's to show you how much inflation can strike any country. And since most at times our institutions are limited, when there are inflations, the only thing they turn up to is to change the currency. That's why we once had Russian ruble and today we are having euros. We once had German marks and today we are having euros. Countries keep on changing their currency. There is a current crisis in Venezuela, and I watched on news a woman had to buy money of something like this to buy just bread. That's what happens with inflation. The states or the institutions keep on pumping money in the system, which is not enough or which is more than what is needed in the system. Now, with all these problems, people have been thinking, how do we leave this stage? Because every country is facing inflation. About 15 years now, Cameroon has faced a 30% inflation. Sometime around, say, the year 2000, one top was 300 francs, and today is 400 francs. If you do the math, it's 30% inflation. Who knows where next we are going to? If tomorrow we get up and you hear that it's 500 francs, you won't be surprised. Inflation is taking the place. Now, the people started asking themselves, how do we do? What do we do to solve this problem of inflation? They started looking at the cause of inflation. Inflation at its core is caused by us. I would not like to call it the institution or the state, because he who is, say, this person in the institution today or this person in the government today was once a layman in that same institution. So the problem comes back to us. It means whenever we cannot manage our own resources, or a particular group of people cannot manage their own resources, it means that money is bound to face inflation. Then the world was thinking, it means that if we don't have control of money, or if a particular person is not having control of money, then what will be left to control the value of that money is the demand and supply. Then the world had to turn to digital money. Digital money in essence is, just like the word digital, is something which you cannot touch, but you can see it. You can use it, but you cannot touch. The messages we send on WhatsApp, those are digital letters. The messages you send through your email, those are digital letters. Are you understand? But in essence, you cannot touch it. And since you cannot touch it, you don't have a complete control over it. Imagine you want to control air. Anything you can't touch limits your control. Then the world was thinking, and they said, if we make money digital, what happens? We will limit the control over money. If we make money digital, we will limit the control over money. And people started making one digital money or the other, but it had its own problems. It had its own failures. And what is the failure? What is the biggest problem with digital money? It's what is called double spending. What's double spending in essence? If you get to your WhatsApp message, by the time you receive a message, you can forward to everybody on your contact list that one message. It's digital, right? But you cannot take, let's say, let's assume this was a message. You cannot take this and forward to everybody in this hall at the same time. So digital money was limited. And people started thinking, and governments and institutions were refusing it, because by the time they want to notice, I've given 5 million to Paul, Peter, James, and John, and have collected a house, a land, a factory, a car before they even want to notice. So what happened? It was another system, or was another failure in money, and people were thinking and thinking till the year 2009, where an anonymous programmer, till today the world does not know his personality or the institution's personality, called Satoshi Nakamoto. He came out with this thing called Bitcoin. Remember, Bitcoin is different from any investment you have heard of. In the beginning I said there is no business that hangs on air. Every business is based on something. So Bitcoin is what the next speaker will be talking about. The business he's talking about is based on Bitcoin. Any maybe other investment opportunities which have come to you are based on Bitcoin, but is not actually Bitcoin. Now, Satoshi Nakamoto, he created Bitcoin, but before creating Bitcoin, he sent a message to all those who are doing this digital money system, showing them how possible it is for you to create a digital money and solve the double spending problem. It means he created a system and showed them that with this system, if you follow this system, when you send money to Peter, the money actually leaves you. And people did not believe him. People did not trust his technology until he decided to experiment his own research by creating Bitcoin. That is why when people always do research, they end up with a prototype. So he created Bitcoin. Bitcoin in essence is a research. Bitcoin in essence is the prototype of a research. Now, Bitcoin is the first decentralized cryptocurrency, but it's not the only decentralized cryptocurrency. Let's look at some facts about Bitcoin. The first is that the first Bitcoin was created and issued in 2009 by Satoris of a change in money. That's the change from the fiat to the digital. And whenever changes are happening, what happened? You have ups and downs. Now, when Bitcoin was created in 2009, the value of one Bitcoin was $0.02. By then, if you convert it to francs CFA, it means it was 10 francs CFA. It means everybody in this hall could afford, even if it's just 100 Bitcoin, assuming you heard about the opportunity and you took the opportunity. Now, but in 2012, what's the gap? 2012 to 2009 is about 3-4 years. In 2012, the value of one Bitcoin exploded from $0.02 to $1,200. If you do the math, it should be about 720,000 francs. What am I saying in essence? It means if Mr. Paul bought 100 Bitcoin with 1,000 francs, because by then 1,000 francs could buy 100 Bitcoin. If Mr. Paul bought 100 Bitcoins and kept that Bitcoin till 2012, what happened? He will have 100 times 720,000. It's not magic. It's possible. It is said that Apple's total shares has reached 1 trillion. It did not start at 1 trillion. But what happened? That was an opportunity which some people took. And it did not end at that level. When this happened, what happened? The eyes of the whole world became open. They say, wow, something has been happening. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Just like you left this place and you told somebody that you're coming for a WCI seminar. Say, that one a thing. Now let people, that they're not serious. So a time will come when that person will hear about WCI, because there are some people who, if they don't see something on news or on a billboard, or everybody has accepted it, they won't engage in that thing. So by that time, that person will hear that, hey, there is something called WCI. By that time, the person have noticed that you have already built a house and you have painted WCI. Are you understanding? Now, And because of this, people started creating different versions of cryptocurrencies. These other versions of cryptocurrencies are known as altcoins. When people saw that, hey, there is money in this thing, they started creating their own cryptocurrency with the hope that one day it's going to increase, with the hope that one day something will change about it. Now, remember I said Bitcoin is the first decentralized cryptocurrency. It means there are so many other cryptocurrencies, and one of those cryptocurrencies the next speaker will be talking about. So be very keen when the next speaker comes up, because he is going to talk about a cryptocurrency which has not a very low value but a reasonable value, which by the time you invest in it in the next 5 to 4 years, you are the only one who will be able to tell the story. Now, what is Bitcoin in essence? I'll not go about defining Bitcoin. I'll just go about showing you some facts about Bitcoin. Because someone once told me that if you say something is what it is, it should have some characteristics. If, for example, you say a house is something that shelters people, it means a tree is a house, but it's not a house. If you say a car is something that transports people, it means a horse is a car, but it's not a car. So once you meet these things, know that it's Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the first decentralized currency. Bitcoin is the most secure bank ever existed. Bitcoin is the most secure. Experienced that great increase. The US government said, let's test this thing. Is this thing secure? Because maybe as I'm talking now, somebody in his or her mind is saying, this internet thing that very soon you want to notice that everything has vamoosed, everything has left. Is this secure? It's not secure. I need something that I can be looking at it. Hey, this money stand here. Today, tomorrow you are going to the bank after you come back. Now, how far is this Bitcoin secured? The United States put Bitcoin to a test. They took the best IT guys, the best computer guys, and put them in one room and said, how possible is it for somebody to steal money from Bitcoin? They did their research, and at the end of the day, they said, it's very possible. You can get money from Bitcoin, you can steal money from Bitcoin. I know someone is really getting scared, but I know we won't get scared, okay? Now, what did they say is possible to get money from Bitcoin? Please, 1 minute. Okay, sorry, I invited someone and she was the one calling. So, Bitcoin is the most secure bank ever existed. After doing this research, they said it is possible for us to steal money for Bitcoin. But how possible it is? We will need 60 billion US dollars to get money from Bitcoin. And with that 60 million or 60 billion US dollars, we will have access to Bitcoin for 5 seconds. What is it trying to say? It means if you have to get access to a particular lock and they say you need to buy this asset worth 2,000 francs, and then you can break that lock. So it means for you to steal money from Bitcoin, according to 2012, you need 60 billion US dollars, and only for 5 seconds. What's the assumption based on? Now, remember I said Bitcoin is decentralized. When it's decentralized, it means it is everywhere. Are you understanding? It means Bitcoin is with him, is with everybody in this hall. There was this example I gave in the hall, in a hall in Boya, and I said, let's assume Bitcoin to a safe, the safe of a company where you keep money in it, and that safe has a series of codes. Let's say WFGX12 and so on and so forth. It has a safe, and everybody in the Bitcoin system has 1 digit in that safe. I don't even understand ourselves. It means if there are 10 people operating Bitcoin at that time, the 10 of them have 1 digit each. One person is in Kinshasa, another person is in Rwanda, another person is in Cameroon. And now you ask yourself, how can you steal these people money? It means you need to put all these persons under a particular room and say, you, what's your code? My code is W. What's your own code? My code is F. My code is G. And you get all their codes. By the time you put all that code, what happens? The network opens. That is why they said 60 billion. Because by then, all those who were involved in the Bitcoin sector was 60 billion. It means if they increase, you will need more money. Now, what's the 5 seconds? It was assumed that every 5 seconds, a new person gets into Bitcoin. And remember, that 5 seconds is an average. It means as they finish giving those people 60 billion, what happened? If somebody is entering in the second or the third second, a new code comes in and the system blocks automatically. Are you understanding? That is why Bitcoin is secure. That is why the United States had to vouch for Bitcoin. That is why today the United States is the country with the highest number of Bitcoin ATM machines. There are over thousands of Bitcoin ATM machines in the United States because they have tested and they have seen that the system is secure. The United States today, in some states, people pay their taxes using Bitcoin. In Germany, everything that the euro does, Bitcoin can do it. With Bitcoin, you can pay your fees, pay hospital bills, and so on. The next, Bitcoin is one of the best store of value. You know what? When they say store of value is something which you keep, let's say, money in it, and over time it increases. Now, how is Bitcoin the best store of value? You took 1,000 francs in 2009, and then you bought 100 Bitcoins, and in 2012, you have 100 times 720,000. That should be about 72 million. Now show me that asset, physical asset, that you will use 1,000 francs to buy. I'm sure those who bought land for 1,000 francs were those people around, should be around Job. If it's not Job, it should be around Amos. Those people in which maybe before their generation grew up, the lineage, they cannot see it again. You understand? It might be possible, but it can take you about 2,000 years or 3,000 years if Jesus tarries. Amen. Now, the next, Bitcoin has solved the great problem of inflation. What caused inflation? Some people were controlling money. It means if nobody controls Bitcoin, it solves the problem of inflation. And Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer transfer system. You can't move money or any other local currency from Cameroon to the United States without you being involved with somebody. But with Bitcoin today, I get my phone and I send money directly to my brother in the States, directly to my brother in Namibia. So it's a peer-to-peer transfer system. And if Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer transfer system, means I want to give you money, I give you directly. I don't have to involve another person. It means the charges to send Bitcoin is small. Because sometimes the reason why the charges are that high is because the girl sitting at the counter must eat. The house which is being rented, that house must have house rent. That AC that's touching you, that's why when I get to the bank, I don't hurry. Because my money is the one giving them that AC. So I take my time. If they say there's no connection, I smile. And what's the last but not the least? Cryptocurrency is the future, and Bitcoin is leading it. Are we getting ourselves? Cryptocurrency is the future, and Bitcoin is leading it. So it means if you have Bitcoin today, or if you are in cryptocurrency today, you are not living today, you are living in the future. Are you understanding? So that's, just imagine, let's say before they discovered fuel, they were using something else to drive cars, and then you had fuel in which they will start using fuel in the next 5 years, and you are the only person having fuel in that arena. Then you are the only one to tell the story. And very fast, 3 things that play a very big part in creating value around any cryptocurrency: the community, the technology, the usability. The technology we have already spoken about, that all what we're talking about, Bitcoin, that's the technology. The next, the community. If people create Bitcoin and Bitcoin is not found in countries, it's not money, because money is not meant to be used in space. But Bitcoin is found everywhere, in the United States, in Germany, in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Cameroon, and so on and so forth. And the usability, to use Bitcoin, so many people use Bitcoin. As I'm talking to you now, if there is anything you want to buy from me and you pay with Bitcoin, I can even give you Dash, because I'm looking for it. Everybody needs Bitcoin. What's the usability? In Germany, people pay hospital bills with Bitcoin. In Ghana, people pay taxis with Bitcoin. They eat in restaurants and pay in Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is usable. These are some examples of some institutions using Bitcoin. You have BBVA, BNP, Paris. The NYSE is the New York Stock Exchange. So if somebody is telling you Bitcoin is not money, anything that if there is any money existing on earth, it should be on the New York Stock Exchange. And Bitcoin is listed there. So at this point in time, I'm grounding up. Now, how do you invest in Bitcoin? There are three sectors in Bitcoin. You either come in as a developer, you come in as an investor, or you come in as a trader. A developer are those who create the Bitcoin. They are the Satoshi Nakamoto. You must know computer. I don't mean knowing how to send WhatsApp messages. So I mean the real one. Are you understanding? And so let's keep that part. The next thing are investors. Investors are those who identify an opportunity when the value is very low. So many people have made money today from buying MTN shares way back around 2006, 2005 when it just came to the country, and they have made a lot of money. But sometimes with investment, you need huge amount of capital. A company will tell you our one share is 10,000 francs, and for you to get it, you must own at least 500 shares. That's a lot of money. Then the next, traders. I like traders because you can start with anything as a trader. The Bamleke post with us best. Somebody use Adata bomb and build a house. Somebody use 5,000 and build a house after 20 years. You understand? It means with trading, you can start with any amount. Now, what is trading? Trading is simply the buying and selling. You buy and you sell. But sometimes not everybody has that time to do the buying and selling. It's like, for example, you can open a kinkari. When you open that kinkari, what are you doing? You are buying and selling building materials. But you have two options. It's either you give that shop to someone to buy and sell for you, or you sell yourself. And with cryptocurrency or with Bitcoin or with digital money, you can either do the buying and selling yourself, or you can give a company to do the buying and selling for you. Now, doing the buying and selling yourself, we need time. We need knowledge. Imagine you were selling salt and you don't know that salt and water are not friends. And the day is you have a customer who needs salt, and you carry that salt and run under that rail. Before you get there, the customer will think you are coming to dupe him because there will be nothing on your head. Are you understanding? Now, so it needs some one or two knowledge. Indirectly, you don't need to knowledge. You just give. That's why sometimes some taxi owners don't even know how to drive. They have given a driver. The person is driving for them. Come and giving them balance. Are you understanding? Now, but just like that taxi driver, you don't give your taxi to any type of person. There are some things you must look. It pains me that people, when they want to give their taxi, they take their time to give. But when they come to this investment, they just get that, hey, you say if I put 5,000, I will receive 30,000. Put the money. Are you understanding? They don't ask themselves some pertinent questions which will answer at the end. So, what is one of those systems to trade indirectly is WCI. As he rightly said, WCI is World Cryptocurrency International. Now, what is WCI before he comes up with the business of WCI? WCI is a company that was created with the intention to provide its users with information on cryptocurrency. It was created to provide people with information on digital money. So all these things which I'm telling you now, that is the reason why WCI was created, to provide information and to give people the opportunity to invest. And since WCI is a business, it means as they are providing that information, people are paying them. Are you understanding? But now nobody is paying me. So it means the only means you should pay me is by you not leaving that door without seizing the opportunity. The next, what's WCI slogan? WCI slogan is Together We Rise. Dangote's motto is for a better Africa. Ethiopia Airlines is the spirit of Africa. So that is what drives us in WCI. In WCI, we want everybody to rise. The mission of WCI is to create 200,000 millionaires in dollars by the year 2020. Somebody say it's possible. It's possible. And I shall be part. Okay, now what are the activities of WCI? WCI does in trading, the buying and selling. WCI creates their own cryptocurrency. Somebody will say today 1 Bitcoin is about 3 million. I don't have money to buy 1 Bitcoin. Yes, 1 Bitcoin is about 3 million or about 4 million. I don't have money to buy Bitcoin. But come on, you have the opportunity to own WCX coin. So seize it while it's now. Don't say if it fall. Some people said if Bitcoin fall, but Bitcoin has not fallen. The next is WCI has its own trading platform. What we call trading platform is the market. Imagine you sell cocoyam. You take it to this market. This is the main market, right? Yes. You take it to the Limbe market. You pay market tax. But if you own cocoyam and you own Limbe market, it means others that are coming to sell, they will pay tax for you. So it's an opportunity you investing in WCI because it gives you the opportunity and the privilege to own a market. And as people are coming to buy from that your market, what happened? You have tax. And lastly, the WCX Mastercard. This is the game in WCI. So many people say, hey, that thing, when I put my money online, how will they move them? When I put my money online, how will they move them? Ask, if you see anybody putting on blue t-shirt, getting Bitcoin behind, ask them, how they move them? There's a serious meeting behind it, they are moving them. That meeting behind that, hey you. Yes, that meeting behind it, they are moving them. So don't say how will they move them? They are moving in there. But apart from that, WCI will give you the opportunity to earn this money in your online account. And then you just touch it and say, John, come move me the money from my phone, put them for my card. As you move and put them for your card, you just go and put it in a machine, you remove it. And people are not understanding. When they don't understand, tell them is WCI. And I close with this. Now, a network is very important. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is just a network of people doing one or two things. The world's biggest bank with no actual cash. Are you getting me? It's the world's biggest bank. The money that people have invested in Bitcoin is more than what is in the central bank. But we know cash. What happened? It's a network. What is Uber? It's the world's largest taxi company. But they don't have taxi. They don't have the taxi of their own. They just come. So you have about 5 taxis. Can we register your taxi with Uber? Yes. About 3. Can we register the taxi with Uber? Yes. By the time it's a taxi, you just go to Uber. And Uber sends one of his taxi to come and pick him up. And Uber is making money. So sometimes you don't really need those physical things to make the money. You just need to have the right mindset and the network. Alibaba is the world's most retailer and he has no inventory. All those things you see on Alibaba, it does not belong to them. People go and put it and you come and buy and Alibaba has money. What's Facebook? Is the biggest album. The biggest album. There are some of my pictures I can't find, but I find them on Facebook. What happened? But they don't have even one gallery. And the last, Airbnb, is the largest accommodation provider. That is those who provide houses, real estate. They don't own even one. So what am I trying to tell you today? Today you have the opportunity to to be part of a series of investment without you owning one. Somebody say it's possible. It's possible. So at this note, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for Quincam Fidelis and Direct Seller. For the questions, we take them at the end of the final presentation. Thank you.
WCI.
Yeah, we rise.
I can keep this microphone beside. Should I? Want to use it? I should use it? Because my voice will be too heavy for you to carry from the microphone. Huh? WCI.
Yeah, we rise.
You see, Anytime I'm given the opportunity to speak about WCI, I speak with a lot of energy, with a lot of enthusiasm, with a lot of happiness, and with a lot of ego, because I know what is inside. And I always dream every day of my life that I go to bed in the night. The first question I ask myself is, what did I do today to impact the life of somebody before I'm going to bed? And when I discover that in a day I have not spoken to 3 people, to 5 people, to 10 people about my business, which is feeding me, feeding my family, putting bread on my table, and making me to move majestically and smile at every given time, to curse that day because I did not respect the portion that God gave me on that day to sweep. Can you clap for me? I don't know whether you understand what I mean. I'm saying that for you to clap for me, it means that we are going to practice what I am going to show you now, and then that smile will be for the genesis of cryptocurrency, or call it the digital money, which is now existing and breaking grounds, taking over the fiat currency that we have. I told somebody some 3 weeks ago, we were debating on a story about money and how it is being used, and I told him that if you are doubting what I'm presenting to you, I want you to understand that yesterday you did not know that the post office will be closed. Hello? We are talking practical things here, but when you want to touch this, you can be having 1 trillion in your bag, which is just your phone, and you have your password and your username, and that's all. Now the policeman will not even know what a password is or what a username is. And so you cross, and when you reach Germany, it is possible for you to withdraw your money in Germany. It's possible for you to withdraw in America. It's possible anywhere in the world, because Bitcoin is the most created digital money in 2009, according to the write-up of Satoshi Nakamoto. Are we there? Now, my little colleague has buttressed a lot on how the journey was to now and what we are about to hear. What I'm going to tell you now is going to blow off your ears. One, in CSA, if we were to put it in France, for you to understand, it means that $100 is 60,000 francs. When they register, that is when you start making money. Hello? Have you understood bronze? So bronze is like a step into the company, but in that bronze you are not going to have daily income. You are not going to have the WCS coins. You are regarded as you have 10%. I want to consider that my fellow brethren in Limbe are not people to be presenting them chicken change. I want to talk to you about real investments. We did boom, and the Bitcoin has gone up to 200 million or to 200,000 for one, $200,000 for one. WCI will not pay you a day dividend more than $150 for the company to stand, because there are so many companies that have. When you do, if you are a man, go and borrow from the bank. You borrow from the bank because banks are looking for people to borrow now. They don't even have. Go and borrow 6 million. Come and put in this business. I will guarantee you. You will pay the loan, and the I saw my check lying in the office. I say he's no longer in the 10% again. You see, black man? You see, black man? Okay, now that is when you have not brought in anybody. WC immediately allocates one from that day that follows you in at the end of the day. 20% of 6 million is how much? Of here and he puts in 10,000, and she put percent of the first $10,000, but my account is how much? $500, and the person came with is, and they snap it photo, so that is front and back. It's sent to the company for verification. The company verifies that to authenticate that this account belongs to you. Okay? And when once that is done, a dream can never have any access to your account again. And so you can open your account and do whatever you want to do with your money. It's your money. But I want to pass it to Bitcoin. Are we there? WCS coin is referring to Bitcoin. Ethereum is referring to Bitcoin, because that was the mother cryptocurrency that was created at beginning, at creation. But when UCI, among all cryptocurrencies that are existing in Africa, WCI is not fighting with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin na pa we don't come no be so. And if we tell you now that, okay brother, go and buy Bitcoin, you are going to buy one Bitcoin for how much? 4 million francs. But I am introducing to you WCS coin at the virgin stage at $2, and you are not buying now. The company is still allocating it free. Take note of this: 17 million Bitcoins have been mined already, and of WCI, because WCI is 11 months in Cameroon, and we are already moving more than 5,000 WCI affiliates in Cameroon, and you are still not one of us. The convention has been called. By the grace of God, by Friday we are leaving here for Indonesia in Bali. That's where the World Conference will be taking place. I will be there, and some of my members, we are 8 from Cameroon. We'll be going there to participate in training, participate in the market development, and to listen to the new receive as gain after paying your own share of the cake. The company has 180 million US dollars as turnover reserves. And then the CEO is saying that there are going to be special announcements in Bali, Indonesia, from the 16th to the 20th. What do you think he's going to say? Those of you, okay, let's say that I'm the CEO now. I want to announce. I know that John Rock is going to come up. After greeting people, he must first of all appreciate those people who carried the company. If I don't trust you, no matter how good what you are saying is, I cannot accept it. If I don't trust you, no matter whatever you say, that is why in the nowadays, in the Christendom, most Christians listen. Not only listening, they look at their pastors. Formerly, and his people, and then you keep on passing over the opportunities. The British one, they jump over. The British one, you jump over. And then you go and now you are asking your friend out there who did not come for the seminar. I say, Master, I feel join. He go ask you, you want to with it? Join how much? For 1 million, 1 year, they give you 18,000 and you be happy. But this is cryptocurrency, WCI, where you are that I had in Limbe. Can somebody hear me? The first upline, downline, I don't call them downline, I call them success tree. My success tree in Limbe, that first person is a clergy, a man of God. What he invested in this company was just $300,000, $500. But when, after 2 weeks, he saw that it was good, when the payment started, he confirmed that what this man told me was true. He opened it up to his congregation. Listen to what this man is saying, because I'm seeing that it's true. And people started falling under that his small $500. Do you know what? Hello? Do you know what? He is on his 5th month. Is it 5th month or 6th month? He is entering his 6th month, and the total that he has collected from his bonuses, his binary, his bonuses, his sponsor bonus, and plus the WCS coin which is lying there quietly 75. As at last Saturday, he is already at 2,972,000. 2,900,000 money is we are striving for perfection. That is why WCI have said that we cannot pay 100%. If we give you all the 100%, sir, then tomorrow the workers who are working in offices and all the management, every publicity they are doing, where do they get money to pay all those? It will soon be robbing Peter to pay what? Paul. And by the time they rob Mary to pay Paul, John will not be available for them to rob. And the company does what? It falls down. Those are areas where people fail to understand. Ask him, you want to pay me? I want to give 100,000 and you give me 400,000 in 3 months. What are you doing with the money and how are you going in? Do you have a coin of your own? What's the coin of your company? Those are things that are not available, but because they want to rob Paul to pay Peter and rob Peter to pay John and rob John to do this, at the end of the day they discover it falls down. So your eyes have to be open where you invest your money. But WCI has a lifespan, and they say they want to create 200,000 millionaires. They coming on the road, they will read and say no, they will pinch 300 and bring the 300 here. And then you want to come out of financial misery because of fear. 11 million in this business as my investments. In Forever Living, I was in Forever Bonus, I was in Forever Peter, I was in this, I was in Alliance Emotion Global. I need to carry buckets and go to people and say, if you drink this one, your head goes turn upside down. The theory. And I take this decision now. It's just like repentance. Believe in Jesus Christ and you will be saved. If you must be at the right, is telling you, select out of that one day. No, we should not be carrying contacts that are not worthy. Prepared and peace.
Yes.
As we are going and make our turn.
And after that, what tells you. Now the second question, what if he dies? Every person before you die, either you have a next of kin or a will already written. I understand the details and I agree. If something is, if you are investing in a company on a company